Hi, I wanted to show people, I want to do a short video to show people that you don't need to be an expert to figure this out. I've got a few pictures here that were taken by the police department and also by the newspaper. I want to start off with showing you the area. This is a view taken from up above. This is Dillon Street here. Allyn would have been coming out of here, making a left and on his way to school here. You can see this slight curve right here, and that you can see clearly if she were driving here and she weren't drunk or intoxicated, she would have navigated this curve very easily. But if you notice, if you draw a straight line, she impacted Allyn roughly in this area right here. The police are saying that the impact happened here. And I'll show you why that couldn't have happened. The skid marks that are on the road, these were taken by a photographer from the newspaper. You'll see a gouge mark here, and it's difficult to see in this picture, but you can see a mark that comes along here and goes off here into the ditch where his car ended up. This gouge mark here is the magnesium from his rim. Okay, and I have a picture here that it'll better show it. Okay, so this is from his rim, and it follows along. This is his lane of travel. This is her lane of travel. His rim from the right passenger side gouged here, went sideways, and then into the ditch. So his car, the front of his car would have come around like this, slammed into the road here. This would be the right passenger side. His rim slammed into the road here. And because his wheels were slightly turned and they were in park, his car and the force drove his car into the ditch. Now, why would there be skid marks here? I've got a better picture here that will help see. This is the same picture. It's blown up, and the contrast has been changed, so it's a little easier to see the skid mark here. It goes sideways and then up the road and into the ditch. And you can see once we change the contrast, it's easier to see where the car went. Now, why would there be skid marks here? This looks like a really sharp angle, but actually from here to the car is more than 30 feet. So it's not actually, if you're looking straight down at it, it's not a sharp turn at all. It's a slight turn that goes into the ditch. So why would there be a skid mark here? If the car was in park, then there would be a skid mark. But if the car was in drive, the wheels would have simply turned and there wouldn't be a skid mark. So you might say, well, maybe his body knocked the car into park. Well, this is the interior of the vehicle, and there's pictures in the on Allyn's website that you can look at, get a better, closer look at. This is the shifter, and it's knocked over to the passenger side. It's not knocked forward, it's knocked over to the right. And I also have a video on there that will show that the linkage between neutral and park is still intact. So if his body had have knocked it into park, then this would be broken, and it would easily shift back and forth, and it does not. It functions properly, which tells us that his vehicle was in park. Well, this is a photographer from the newspaper he's actually taking that picture. You notice this red car right here? And this is his picture. That's him. He's taking this picture. That's the red car that's there. You can see. And the officer took a picture of him taking a picture of the skid marks, but the cops never took a picture of the skid marks. Now, I'm going to show you the rim from his vehicle. This is that same picture of the mark from his rim, the magnesium from his rim, and the skid mark. This is a close-up picture of the rim. This is the front passenger side. That's the rim. Here's a closer picture of it. This is the mark that the road left when his car struck the road after being hit by Angela Rush. Now, the police say in their report that the crash happened in this area here. Now, there is no debris. This is her lane of travel. This is Allyn's lane of travel. There's no debris to speak of down her lane of travel. This to me tells me the fire truck is here. The officer's foot is in the middle of the road. This is her lane of travel. This is Allyn's lane of travel. This is the middle of the road here. There's glass under the fire truck. Now this glass comes from the rear of his vehicle on the side, and this glass was broken This is the glass from this area here. Now you can see this is over the rear wheel, and this was not struck by her vehicle. All of this was struck by her vehicle. The stress of the metal bending broke that glass, and that glass fell straight down and is over here. That means the back of his car was way over in his side of the lane. That's her lane of travel. This is Allyn's lane of travel. That's the center of the road. That would be near the back of his vehicle. So that means the back of his vehicle was nearly across the road where it stalled. This is a picture of the debris. This is looking at it from the other end. You can see this would have been Allyn's lane of travel. This was her lane of travel. All the debris from her vehicle is in Allyn's lane. Now, and the glass is up here. Now, the police say that somebody, and the investigators say that somebody probably came along and swept the glass. Well, we have an eyewitness that's willing to testify that he was there from seconds after the crash, before the police got there, until after the police left. And he said nobody touched any debris. No one swept it. Nobody moved it until after the police had left. So we know that all of this debris came from her vehicle, the front of her vehicle, and that this glass, it's impossible. The police are saying the crash happened over here. It's impossible for the glass to have gotten over there from the rear of his vehicle. And this debris, she was moving 50 miles an hour. She said she was moving 50 miles an hour. So we'll take her word on that, because that's all we've got. If she was traveling here and struck his vehicle, then there should be debris over here. The majority of the debris is over here. Her vehicle is back over here across the road. Allyn's vehicle is over here. So one of the incredibly intelligent officers of the Crossville Police Department said, well, maybe that skid mark that's on the road here, it was there before the crash. It was already on the road. Well, as luck would have it, this is a picture from Google Earth. And if you type in 49 Dillon Street and you look at our house, you'll see Allyn's car in the driveway. It was taken in April of 2014, just days before the crash. You go down to the end of the road, and this is the area here where the skid mark and the gouge mark is from the rim. And there's nothing there. So it happened the day, and we know that it's from Allyn's vehicle. We know that it had to have happened in Allyn's lane because of the debris. We know that his car was in park because there wouldn't be a skid mark if his car had been in drive. We know that his body didn't knock it into park because the linkage is completely intact. There's nothing wrong with it. The key to the ignition is stuck in start. You know, when you start the car, there's a spring that when you let go of it, it goes back to run. Well, the key is stuck in start. That means he was trying to start the car, desperately trying to start the car, when she came along in her drunkenness and slammed into him. So why the district attorney's office, Bryant Dunaway, is ignoring all of these facts, and why they're not figuring this out, and why they're not charging her with vehicular homicide, even if it was in her lane, even if all of this happened in her lane and he was in park. She had 650 feet of clear view. There's 650 feet of clear view here that she could have seen him, even if, and she has an obligation to stop if there's something in the roadway. But she's saying that he pulled out when she got to this area here, that he pulled out in front of her. Well, how did he pull out in front of her, put his car in park, and try to start the car in the time between here and here? She should have seen him, had no problem seeing the vehicle from back here. So I believe that she was drunk. I know she was drunk. And she was traveling along here and she wasn't paying attention. And she struck Allyn in his lane, killing him. And the district attorney and his group of incompetents, Randall Slayton, they know the truth. I don't know why they don't, why they're covering for her or the Crossville Police Department. I don't understand. But like I said, the skid marks tell the truth. The debris tells the truth. The impact is absolutely in his lane. And she was drunk. She was inebriated or intoxicated at 7 o'clock in the morning, and she is the cause of Allyn's death, 100%. And the district attorney knows it, and he should be charging her with vehicular manslaughter. He doesn't take our calls anymore. He doesn't call us at all. He doesn't return our emails. It's just incredible. Just makes me sick that these people are in charge. The Crossville Police Department don't take any responsibility whatsoever at all for their incompetence. The gentleman that you saw in the photographs, he's listed, this dude here is listed as a photographer, and he's in most of the pictures on the official police report. And he's in most of these pictures. By the way, he doesn't work at the Crossville Police Department anymore. He works for the Safety Commission or some other thing, so can't figure that one out. Anyways, I hope that shines a light on what I've been talking about. And if you have any comments or anything, please let me know. And please share, and so people can see what the district attorney's office and the Crossville Police Department and everyone else that's involved, that they're not doing right by Allyn. Thank you.